Hey there, Taurus. How are you this evening? My name is Sherilyn. I am here to do your weekly reading. This one is going to be for Monday, September 15th through Thursday, September 18th. I'm supposed to be back on Wednesday to do the bonus readings to get you through your weekend. They're telling me now they're threatening to take TikTok down again. So if you're watching me on TikTok and you have a minute, can you go over and follow me on the YT? Because if this is down, then that's where I'll be, okay? I'm already over there anyways, but there you go. All right, we're past that. Let's keep going here. So let's see what you get this week, Taurus. Okay. Where are my Tauruses? Taurus, Taurus, Taurus. All right. Where are we starting? The Four of Pentacles. Okay. Followed by the World card. And then I have the Queen of Swords. So this is your backstory or your recent past. Four of Pentacles and the World card tells me that there's a cycle closing out here right now, and you are desperately trying to not allow that, or you're trying to hang on to something from the cycle that's closing out. It's kind of pointless then, right? I mean, you have to close a cycle out and start a new one. But it's like you're trying to not allow it to close out because you want something there. There's something there that you don't want to let go of. Okay, the challenge position here is the Queen of Swords. You have adapted somewhat of a cold persona right now towards this whole situation, which is understandable. I get it, but it's probably not going to help matters for you at this point. You know what I'm saying? You would probably be better served to try to be grateful for the things that are right and, you know, and push forward towards trying to fix the things that aren't, or whatever. Okay, we're done with that part. Let's see. That's your backstory. Anyways, we couldn't change it if we wanted to. This is stuff that's already pretty much happened, right? You're dealing with the aftermath, and the rest just tells me where we're coming from. Okay, so where are we at currently? We get the King of Wands, followed by the Nine of Wands, and in the challenge position, we have the Sun. Okay. So, I do believe that most of you out there are pretty much everybody, all the Tauruses here, I do believe that you're presenting here as the Queen of Swords. Male or female, it doesn't make any difference. It's just an energy, but I mean, here you are presenting in your feminine, like I said, a fairly cold version of yourself right now, okay? Very analytical, trying to keep emotions at bay, and somewhat defensive, okay? It looks like you're dealing with a King of Wands, okay? Very fiery, very passionate, very charismatic, always up for adventure, sometimes a little hard to keep tied down, or very hard to keep tied down. Anyways, so it looks as though possibly it was a King of Wands. That's who you're dealing with now. It's left you feeling, dealing with this King of Wands has left you feeling incredibly wounded, okay? It just has. The Sun being in the challenge position, it is quite challenging to be happy right now. I would say that's part of it. But more than that, it is, the Sun is illuminating things to you that you just can't unsee, right? Yeah, that's how this looks. So it looks like, to put it mildly, this is a challenging time right this second. Looks a bit challenging, okay? All right, we're going to get past that. Let's see where we're going from here. So in the near future, what do we get? Now, I've got the King of Cups, followed by the Emperor, and then the Nine of Swords. What's the bottom of the deck? Bottom of the deck is the Eight of Pentacles. So the underlying current to this entire reading has to do with the fact that you are totally invested here. That's what makes everything so much more difficult, right? This isn't somebody you know casually. This isn't somebody you've been around for a minute. This is somebody you were all in with, okay? So to find out, to have the Sun illuminate things you don't want to see or can't unsee or all of that, it's very difficult. That's why you're hanging on so tightly up here with the Four of Pentacles in the recent past, because of the investment, okay? Anyways, so we did currently, now we're in the near future. In the near future, I have the King of Cups, then the Emperor, and the Nine of Swords. Okay, in a relationship, there has to be a yin and a yang, right? It doesn't matter gender-wise who's in what position, but there just has to be somebody that leads and somebody that follows to some extent. Otherwise, it usually doesn't work out. Okay, so it looks like to me, in the near future, you are evolving, or you're changing it up and going into the King of Cups, okay? You are searching for a sense of emotional stability and security. That's what you're after right now, because that's what you're lacking right this minute. So you step into the King of Cups because looks like our King of Wands is a little bit, you know, he's off doing whatever. So naturally, somebody has to run the kingdom. It falls to you. Okay, so that's where you're at. So you're in the King of Cups. It looks as though this King of Wands, he's settled in now. He's the Emperor, okay? the issue there is that we then have two of whatever yin and yang. We have yin and yin or yang and yang, however that works out. We have two people in the masculine. Two people can't sail the ship and run the boat. You know what I'm saying? Somebody has to run it, somebody has to follow. So it looks like the two of you are definitely butting heads in the near future. It has to do with you stepping into a masculine role and them still being in a masculine role. Okay? The challenge then becomes the Nine of Swords, because it's like you can't even find a way to communicate, you know what I'm saying, because everybody's trying to run everything. You're doing it out of necessity because you got left there. They're doing it because that's what they do, right? Anyways, it's an ego thing, kind of. Is how I see it. Anyways, let's keep going. We'll see what else we get. Okay, so now I have the Eight of Pentacles. Now I got the Queen of Cups and the Magician. So this is you trying to manifest yourself back into the role of the Queen. You want to go back into being Queen of Cups is what you're trying to do here. And you can, believe me, you can do what you got to do. Here's a kicker. I'm watching you change. You're changing. You're going from being the Queen of Swords to the King of Cups and then the Queen of Cups. That's you. You're bending over backwards and doing backflips and tumbling runs and everything else to make this work. What are they doing? Where's their half of this? A relationship takes two people, right? Everybody has to pull their weight and do their part. This is looking very, very, very one-sided, is all I'm pointing out, okay? All right. I'm just pointing that out. Sorry. Okay, what else do we have here? I got the whole thing upside down. I love turn around. Okay, let's see. What do you get? I've got the Ace of Cups, the Seven of Cups, the Four of Cups. So, the Ace of Cups is speaking of, a new chance in love. Okay. Does it mean it's a new person in your situation? I don't think so. This looks like you trying to refill the cup of love here in this dynamic. And I get it. I get why you're doing it. I understand you're totally invested. I understand. Seven of Cups would say that, you have other options, but you're not looking at them really. Four of Cups would say that you're not only dissatisfied with the way things are right now, but when something like this falls apart and then you bring it back together, unless everybody involved in it has changed and is trying to build it again, then there's an issue, right? And it looks like you're evolving, changing, becoming self-aware, trying to work towards new things, but I'm not so sure they are, okay? So it causes an overall sense of dissatisfaction. I'll pull three more, and then I got to get the days of the week done. I've got the Five of Cups, the King of Pentacles, and the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, let me tell you something. If you want to make this work, you can. But understand that it's you making this work. It doesn't matter if I'm talking to a guy or girl. Don't get too stuck in the gender parts. Whoever's watching me right now, you're the one making this work. They're just kind of along for the ride. You're the one doing backflips to make this work, and they're just kind of there. Like you're pulling 96% and they're pulling 4% on a good day. Just as long as you're okay with that being the dynamic, because that is what you're in. Okay? Is what I see in these cards, if this is your deal. Okay, past all that, but you have free will. You can do as you want. I'm just telling you, I just want to make sure you're aware of what you're in. Okay, Monday we have Temperance and the Tower. So this is you trying to be very patient and trying to hold a tower off, okay? Meaning that there's something here about the foundation crumbling beneath your feet, but you're trying to hold it off. In reality, you need to let it fall so it can be rebuilt, period. Okay, you're never going to be able to build on what you've got there right now. It needs to go ahead and fall so you can start to rebuild it, okay? Tuesday, I have the Death card and the Ace of Pentacles. One thing's for certain, this needs to be transformed, right? It's not working the way it is right now, so it needs to be transformed. With the Ace of Pentacles, there's some kind of new opportunity coming towards you. I have a feeling it's attached to finance with the Pentacles here. Could be a new job offer, a new hustle. I don't know. It's something. Could mean you're going to win $10 on a scratch-off ticket for all I know, but there's something coming towards you. It's supposed to lighten the mood and help distract you or bring you some upside to everything, right? Wednesday, I have the Queen of Wands and the Knight of Swords. This is you trying desperately to find clarity. If you really want it, you're going to find it. Just be prepared, because I don't know if you're going to like what you find when you go looking, okay? Thursday, I have the Devil and the Lovers. The Devil has definitely infiltrated your lover's situation here, okay? So take that with a grain of salt. Okay, so there you go. That's what I have this week. This looks rough, okay? You can make this work if you want to. You really can. But just be aware of what you're making work, okay? There you go. How's that? Well, no matter what the cards say, go out and make it the best week you possibly can. Hey, if you got a minute, tap the like, share, follow, comment. It's going to be okay, Taurus? It's just the process. It is. Okay? That's what I got for this week. Okay. Thank you.